Hello and welcome. It's time to actually look at these entries. I haven't looked at them yet. I've just opened the main page. So pretty excited to have a look at these photos. So let's just get everything up and running first. Make sure the audio's working. So Ultimate's in. G'day Ultimate, how are you? Kerry's in. Hello and welcome. I'm excited to have a look at these images because yeah, look, as far as I'm concerned, I'll wait until we get a few more people in here. We'll confirm that the audio's working okay. So if anyone can confirm that the audio's working, then I'll get started because I'm excited to see these. I've seen the winning image already. It popped up on the main page and it's bloody good. So just, yeah, let me know whether the audio's fine. Everything looks okay at my end. Again, towards the end, I'm going to open up Lightroom. Audio good. Okay, thank you. All good. Okay, good. I will open up Lightroom at the end because I do want to test out. Adobe have done updates and they've included more AI into everything. So I just want to, we'll go into Lightroom later and have a bit of a test. So hello everyone. So Kath's in here, Kerry's in here, Ultimate's in here. Thank you. Thank you for jumping in. And yeah, look, let's start with why did I choose the Pano Awards? Okay, so look, the people that know me know that I just don't do competitions. I don't like judging photos. I'm happy with my photos. I know that they're not going to win. Okay, I don't think I'm in the same class as what we're about to see. But it's a little challenge that I've sort of set for myself to try and push myself to see how close we can get. Okay, see what we can actually get. And a lot of it's going to depend on conditions. And yeah, like I said, I'm not a big fan of competitions. I'm not sort of fussed. It's for you guys. It's for you to have something to watch and to laugh at me trying to take some award-winning images. So g'day Pam, how are you? How good is this storm season been? I've only streamed the one storm stream, but again, they're not award-winning images. The images that I've got, if I was out at my lone tree at the 4 trees, possibly. But yeah, as far as competitions go, look, it's to have a bit of fun. We're going to have a bit of fun. The reason I've chosen the Pano Awards is because ever since the Pano Awards started, I've always had Epson printers. I'm an Epson guy when it comes to printing. So I've always kind of watched the Epson, because that's who run it, the Epson Pano Awards. But more importantly, every photo that you're about to see will be amazing. Now, there's been competitions, and Ultimate and I have spoken about competitions before, where if you look at an image that wins a competition and you think, what the hell is that? Why did that win? I'm not going nowhere near them, okay? The Pano Awards, I can guarantee you that every image that you're about to see will be amazing. And they're the sort of images that I like. So, and that's what I'm striving for. I'm striving for entering a competition where every photo in there I actually like. Okay, there's lots of other competitions out there. And like I said, if it's a competition and I look at some of the photos in those competitions and I just think, what the hell is that? I'm going nowhere near it. Okay, Epson Awards, they're all good photos. And that's the only reason I'm going at. The style that you're about to see is what I strive to be like. Okay, I want to catch epic landscapes. So that is the only reason I'm entering this competition. I love my panos. It is a Pano Award. So the images, as you'll see on the screen here, they have to be 3000 by 1500 pixels. They can be wider, but that's the minimum panorama style image. I love panos. I love landscapes, and some of the past winners on this, the photos are incredible. Okay, so that's the only reason I'm going anywhere near this competition, because I have respect for every single, the top 100. We might just skip straight to the top 100 and just show you exactly how good number 100 will be. G'day Leslie, how are you? Leslie might have had a sneak peek. I haven't looked at them yet. I'm excited to start looking. So yeah, that's a bit of the background with the Pano Awards. Yeah, way back from when Epson sort of got when I got my first Epson printer. That was kind of when the Pano Awards started. So I used to always watch them and just be amazed at the images. The images that you're going to see in here, I think they're up there. Now there are a few other ones that have come onto the scene more recently. A lot of landscape award type competitions. But yeah, look, I've got a bit of a soft spot for the Epson printers. And if we have a look at prizes, before we have a look at the images, first place, not that I'm going to win it, but first place is basically the replacement of my old Epson 4880. So my 4880 is that exact printer, but just an older version of it. And I would love to get a new printer to be able to print my own big panos. So yeah, look, I'm telling you right now, I've got no chance of winning anything in this. So let's have a look at these images, because I want to have a look. Feel free to ask questions, firing questions. There it is. That is the winning photo. Okay, so that is, well, that's the photographer of the year. But yeah, and this happened last year. You'll see a common theme, a lot of mountain ranges, like epic landscapes, which I just don't think we're going to get in Hervey Bay. All right, let's have a look. Let's go into the winners gallery and let's have a look. So there's the winner, Alex. So that will be his, yeah, look, like I said, you're going to see a very common theme, and it's happened over the years that a lot of it is big mountain ranges and just epic, absolutely epic. Competition's a great way to grow, in my opinion. The big comps that have professional feedback especially help. I know it motivates me to do better and to take images with purpose. Exactly, it is. Look, competitions are a good thing to enter into, because you will learn a lot from entering competitions. But you've got to enter competitions where you like the style that the judges are looking for. Okay, there's no point, you know, for example, with me, there's no point in me going into a portrait style competition. Landscape's my thing, so that's why I sort of, the only competitions I go into are ones where it's dedicated landscape images, and it's not the arty type landscape images. There's ones out there, and we'll probably see a few in here, because a few of them do make it through. These are more just, they're epic landscapes. They're not so much, you know, artwork. They're epic photos. They're actually really good photos. So your competitions are good. You will learn so much from entering competitions. You will look at your photos differently, and you will critique your, like, I can tell you right now, I do not have a perfect photo. I still do not have a perfect photo that I'm happy with. I've got some that I like, I've got some that I really like, but the perfect egg photo doesn't exist. Although that's pretty close, this first one up there. Now, if we just scroll down a bit further, so I think to win it, you have to have at least 3 images in the top 10 or the top 20. I'll go through the rules. When we're ready to submit, we'll go through the rules. But I'm pretty sure to win Photographer of the Year, I think you need at least 3 images. It might even be in the top 50. They're all good. We'll get to the images soon. I'm just saying where, here they are down here. Now, just to give, I'm going straight to the number 100, just to show you the 100th image. So that's number 57. Okay, there's number 100. Okay, what chance have we got? Like, seriously, that's number 100. Mountain ranges. We might have to expand Hervey Bay out. We've got Fraser Island. We do have the island. Now let me get back to there's the top 100. Yeah, we're in Struggle Street. We really are. Okay, let's have a look at the top 100. The top 50. The top 50. So there it is. There's the number 1 image. And that's amazing. That is just, you know, what can you say? That's a sort of image I would love to take, okay? And that's why I'm entering this one, because that's the sort of image I would love to capture. I reckon that's amazing. But what I'm going to look at, I'm going to see if I've got even the slightest chance whatsoever. So what I'm looking for is, are there any images that I could possibly get here in Hervey Bay that are in the top 100? Okay, oh no, we don't have giraffes. Like, that is pretty cool too. Like I said, every image is going to be pretty special. Aurora, we're not going to be getting an aurora. Milky Way we can do. Wow, that's cool. That's a 360. That is a 360 image. So that's him again. Is that does it say who it is? It doesn't actually say his. Oh yeah. Does it have their name there? Alex? Oh, okay, yep. Their name's right at the start. That's just me. Angelica. I won't pronounce that surname, not with my Bogan accent. Wow, that's cool. Okay, that's sort of something that, yeah, if I'm going to win it, I need to do something special. It can't be just a photo. That is pretty cool. You might have to travel to the Glasshouse Mountains for that sort of shot. Exactly. Yeah, mountain ranges, and that's what I'm going to be looking. Oh, wow. Wow, that is cool. Wow. I love that. Wow. Wow. That is awesome. See, and this is, yeah, I'm not going to judge photos. They're all good, but I would say that skull's better than the number 2, in my opinion. That skull, that's how I judge a good photo. If I sit there and I just look at it and go, wow, wow, it's different, it's unique, that is epic. I really like that. That is really cool. Now, how's everyone's names appearing? Are we back to our real names on YouTube? Or are we still using the @? We're still at the @, aren't we? Yeah, it is. So it looks like YouTube have ditched people's user names or their tags, and they're going for the name. Wow, that is really, yeah. And it's even named the Smoking Skull. That is, wow, I really like that. I really like that. Oh, wow, Aquadan might be in with a chat. I'm not telling him about these awards. That's pretty cool. Landscape image, that's interesting actually, because I was kind of wondering whether we could include animals in our landscapes. Nature landscape. Oh, okay, so I wonder whether it was called nature landscape in the past. I'll have to double check that. I never noticed. That's something that, yeah, a nature landscape. Okay, that's definitely not landscape. Very cool photo, but not what I expected. Okay, I thought they were just landscape images. We might have to check the rules, and we might have a chance actually if we can get some animals in there. If it's more of a nature thing, we could have a. No, I'm dreaming. I'm talking crap. We don't have a chance. Yeah, see, that's cool. Again, another big epic mountain range. I'm guessing that's the moon. It looks too bright to be a star, so that's probably a full moon. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, that one's different. It's yeah, that's very artistic. You don't normally see that sort of thing in these awards, but it's still like, wow. What is it? Various flowers. Okay. That's come in at number 8. That's interesting. I didn't expect that. Now, I've seen this before. That's a different person to who I've seen, Shirley Wang. I have seen almost that exact same shot before. A guy that I follow on YouTube, I think his name's Neil Redfern. Was it him that did it? It was someone that did a shot very similar with the glowworms or the glow bugs. What are they called? Fireflies. Fireflies. Yeah, see, I like that. That is nice. That is nice. See, that's epic. That is pretty epic. Yeah, see, there's definitely a theme of mountain ranges in a lot of these. Wow, that is cool. That is nice. See, I'm kind of hoping, I do want to try and get, like, I think my best chance are those 4 trees, the 4 trees lined up. I don't think a lone tree, I think lone trees are just a bit too common. I think my 4 trees is probably my best bet, and I'd love to get it in a fog. If I can get those 4 trees in a fog with the nice reflections underneath, that's kind of one that I have planned. I'm surprised we haven't seen any lightning yet. When you look at the winners, it's easy to get discouraged with any category, but how many days, months did it take to get that one shot? Timing, yeah, exactly. And it's sort of, you know, like, let's go back, just as, you know, let's use this as an example. Like, how did they get it? And that's kind of one thing that I guess the judges will be looking at, as in, wow, what is it, and how did they get that? Yeah, that's interesting. It doesn't look like a photo to me. It doesn't. If it's a photo, wow, that's impressive. But that's really thrown. That's interesting. That's interesting. See, this is what I was expecting to see. More like images like this. Very, you know, atmospheric. Yeah, that's another wow. Okay, these are true panos. These are actually stitched panos. You can tell by all the way it's all warped. So that one's probably another, that's at least 180 degree. Again, mountain ranges. Mountain ranges are a very common theme. Norway. Yeah, see, these are all really good. But yes, this is exactly what happened last year. A bit of a theme there with all these mountain ranges. G'day Peter, how are you? Welcome. So yes, we're looking at all the 2025 Pano Award winners are up. So we're just going through them and just seeing how far off the mark we're going to. It's us, it's not me, it's us. We're all in on this, okay? We need to quickly find some mountain ranges in Harvey Bay. That is cool. That you got the moon, you got the aurora, there's a lake down here. It's sort of, you know, the small screen almost doesn't do these justice. Like, I can just imagine how much you'll be able to see in this image. There's flowers along here. Wow, that is cool. Okay, drone images, yeah, a few of them are starting to creep in. Yeah, again, nice image. Doesn't do it, I'm not going to lie, I doesn't do it, it just doesn't do it. There was a really good drone image last year. I think it might have won the amateur category. We'll have a quick look at last year's as well. Last year there was a drone image that it was incredible. It was really good. Mark Gray got some amazing drone photos. Mark Gray's drone photos are pretty bloody good out in WA. So there's a vertical pano. That is cool. Again, it probably doesn't do it justice on the small screen. That's an Aussie too. Daniel Vaughan, I've seen that name a few times. Yeah, that is pretty cool. That I do like that. That is cool. That, yeah, look, I'm not a fan of star trails. Like, great image. Like, really, again, like, everything about it is just, yeah, it is a very cool image. Even though I don't like star trails, it's still a very good image. Now there's another, these are nature, these aren't landscape. This is, I wasn't prepared for nature images. I got one today that I could enter. I'll show you the one I got today. Or was it yesterday? I don't know. I was up in Bundaberg. If anyone's from Bundaberg in the chat, hello, welcome. Met some really nice people up at Bundy. Their botanic gardens are really nice. That's interesting. That's like a really cool image. That is a really cool image. I didn't expect it to be in the Landscape Awards. Wow, I still can't get over that skull. I keep thinking about that skull. That was bloody good. I have a skull in the water. I remember the waves created a skull. Yeah, that's nice. That's, like I said, all of these images are good. They're really good. Okay, resolution just isn't doing that image justice. I can see what's going on there, and yeah, the resolution, I think they do upload low resolution ones on this page, just so people don't steal them. So they do upload low res ones, what we're looking at. But yeah, that's cool. Like the power of the waves. Again, we're not going to get waves. Oh, if we get another cyclone, we might get some waves. But again, a bit of a mountain range in the background. That's very similar to one from last year. That's very similar to one from last year. Now that's proper Astro. That is, yeah, that's proper Astro, and that's why I don't think I have a chance with my Astro. I might give up with the Astro. I think if we're going to do Astro images, they've got to be proper Astro. We need nebulas and all sorts of things, which I'm not that level of Astro. Maybe a trip to Tassie. Yes, we've been talking about a trip to Tassie. There's a few of us: Leslie, Suzanne, Kerry, Diane from Bundy, and there was someone else. We were discussing a trip to Tassie. I've been in contact with a photographer down in Tassie too, so just to sort of get some inside info. And she mentioned that in Tassie you need to get a pass to go into the parks. So if it's a national park, you need to apply. You need to apply for a pass to get into some of the national parks to take photos. So that's, yeah. Anyway, I'm still planning a Tassie trip on somewhere. Yeah, Lake Mackenzie. Lake Mackenzie is that is a possibility. That is a possibility. I just need to get out there. I do need to get out. I reckon Fraser Island might have some good opportunities. Yeah, see they're cool. Are they drone? That one's not a drone. That one's borderline. That could be a drone shot. There's some more of the fireflies. Glowworm Cave. We do have a glowworm again. I'm trying to keep it Harvey Bay. We've got the Glowworm Cave down at Springbrook, down on the Gold Coast. They get glowworms in that Springbrook Cave. It's a waterfall that comes down. I'm going to go there one day. That's cool. I like that. Like the way that aurora mimics in the reflection. That is cool. I do like that. Not a fan of the van in the shot, but yeah, look, it adds something to the shot, doesn't it? It makes you look. Okay, see, that's nice too. That's just very simplistic. Just, yeah, that is nice. All the sand blowing. That is cool. What are we up to? 28. That's cool. That's, yeah, another big epic mountain range. That shot I have seen a few times. Yeah, that's nice too. See, very misty. I'm kind of hoping I'll have to see when the entries close, but once we get closer to winter, I do need to head out on some of those foggy, misty mornings. I think that's what we need. Here in Harvey Bay, we're going to need conditions on our side. We really are. I've got to go. I'll watch the rest tomorrow. No worries. Thanks for popping in, Ultimate. Yeah, keep up the good work. Loving your photos. Those photos with Tinky and the ball, that was good. That was good. So, yes. Well done. And we will catch up again soon. More glowworms. Got a bit of a glowworm theme going on this year. Yeah, see, look, I get it. I like it. It's nice. Another Aussie too, Peter Harrison. So yeah, something about drone photos. They're not my thing. They're not my thing. Like I get it. Like it's a nice image. Like trying to find a location like that to get a drone photo of. That is pretty special. It's a very cool image. But this is what I like. This is nice. Yeah, Great Wall of China. See, that's nice. Lots of misty cloud colour. I'm a bit of a colour snob. I do like my colour. That's cool. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm getting ideas. From some of these photos. Yeah, that's cool. I do like that. See, I'd sort of expected more if it was going to be nature. I sort of expected more of actually seeing some landscape as well. I'll have to double check. This nature landscape's thrown me a little bit this year. I don't remember seeing animals in the past, especially a macro image. There was a macro image up the front there. That's cool. That is really cool. So this is, you know, there's some images in here that I'd have up a bit higher, but that's just, you know, that's my taste. I do like that. That is really nice. That is cool. I do like that. Yeah, I'd love to get an image like that. That'll be impossible to get here in Hervey Bay. Okay, Storm. See, that's where we've got a chance. That's kind of that's what I'm hoping for. A big storm front, a big bolt of lightning. Personally, I wouldn't have power lines in the shot, but you know, if that came up, I'd just be pulling over wherever I could. If there was power lines in the shot, so be it. But yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. That's kind of, I reckon, if we've got any chance at all, that's what we're going to need, something like that. Because yeah, like that's probably the first image we've seen where we've got a flat terrain, which is kind of, you know, our Hervey Bay. Like that sky with the lightning bolt over my 4 trees, yeah, and some reflections as well. Yeah, that's a chance. Yeah, that's cool. Oh wow, see, I love that. I really like that. I really like that. That's nice. That is nice. See, there's another one, the cane fields. We could do that over the cane fields. We're probably not going to get a tornado in any time hurry, but it could happen. When are the entries due for next year? I think it's June or July. I think it's June or July that they need to be in. I'll double check. We'll go through that later. So there's another image, a possibility that we could get here in Hervey Bay. And I was out at the cane fields the other day. Trying to find somewhere to park is kind of my biggest issue. I don't want to just park on the side of the road. I need a car park to get into, because we couldn't get that over the cane fields. We need those storms to roll through. Okay, so there's another drone image. Like that is really cool. I do like it. Yeah, they're very interesting, these drone shots with all the little creeks, and I'm guessing they're mangroves. It's a mangrove system. See, that's cool as well. Okay, see, now we're starting to get, you know, this is what I expected more of. Lots of stormy lightning. Yeah, that's cool as well. Having someone in the image, I think that is going to help. Okay, that's one of those 360 images. Then that's a well done 360 image. I'm not a big fan of those 360 globe images, but that one is a well done 360 image. That is pretty cool. He's definitely up there. So that I don't mind. That one actually looks pretty cool. I reckon I saw that image last year as well, or very similar. I saw a very similar image to that last year. So we're almost at the top 50. See, that's cool. I do like all the patterns in the landscape. There's that little peak again. Yeah, interesting that that's made it in there twice and so close to each other. Is it the same photographer? No, different photographers. Oh, this is another Aussie. I love that sky. Like that sky, that's probably, is that a long exposure or is that just the sun rays? Could be either. That's nice. That's good. Okay. It's a top 52. Wow, that's cool. That is cool with the snow and the river. Okay, there's number 52. See, that's a nice drone image. There was another one that's sort of similar to the one I saw last year. I think it was all sheep. The sheep were moving. It was a long exposure. I think there was a guy and his dog in the middle, and then all the sheep were moving and they were all blurred, and the guy and the dog in the middle was still. It was really good. It was a really good shot. Okay, so these are all tied for 52nd place. Wow, that's interesting. That is very interesting. I just had Point Vernon flashbacks then. I've sent the drone up a few times over Point Vernon and seen very similar patterns. This actually they almost look like mountain ranges. They look like little mountain ranges, and having someone in the shot, and that's pretty cool. Like that's getting creative. That is pretty cool. The frost monster. Yeah, that's nice as well. Okay, we're definitely not getting that shot here. So there it is. There's the top 50. All of them really good. All of them really good. Yeah, very interesting. So there were that's my number one. That is my number one image. I reckon that is fantastic. That is special to me. That is my favorite image. Like, that is they're all really nice. Don't get me wrong, every image in here is amazing, but that is just something special. You know, the fact that I like heavy metal, and yeah, that is cool. Now that is a real spanner in the works, I reckon. That's a real spanner in the works. That's very interesting. Awesome image. Awesome. Don't get me wrong, a really good photo. Just didn't expect it in there. And that one there, I didn't expect that either. That's yeah, the fact that I keep looking at it, it says something. I need to, like, I just can't work out what it is. All right, let's go to the next ones. Let's have a look at the top 100. Let's see if there's anything at all in the top 100 that I have a realistic chance of capturing. Yeah, cyclones, storms, yeah. Wow, look at that. That is cool. That is, and I like the chains. I'm glad he didn't clone them out. A lot of people probably would have cloned them out. I don't think you're allowed to in the Pano Awards. I think the chains add stuff to that image. They yeah, that's nice. That is really nice. Okay, that's cool as well. That's nice. Again, we don't have sea stacks here. Might have to go down to the Scarness beach and just start piling some rocks in the water and make our own sea stack. Yeah, see, that's cool as well. That's nice. Again, frosty. Where we're not gonna see. Look, if I can get some photo of frost in Queensland, we might be in with a chance. That'll be a rare occurrence. Yeah, that's nice. Very simple. So, and you'll notice, like, none of them have those big, epic, colourful skies. I think sometimes you can have too much colour. Sometimes too much colour. Like, that's just nice, soft. That's interesting. I don't know what that is. I'm guessing it's a drone shot. Whatever it is, that is pretty cool. Yeah, see that? Whatever that is, that I do like that. That's it's an interesting shot. Now, this one, I saw this pop up on the homepage. Again, that is really nice too. That almost looks like a painting. That looks, I love that. I really do. That is, I would have had that ahead of some of the other ones, I reckon. I really like that. We'll get the Aurora in Tassie if we go at the right time. We will get the Aurora in Tassie at the right time. So yeah, look, I'll have a bit of a look around with the Tassie trip and try and find where we're going to go. Like, yeah, I do want to get Cradle Mountain. If we're going to go to Tassie, I think we almost have to get Cradle Mountain. So it's just a matter of sort of trying to find somewhere. We'll probably have to hire a bus as well. And I want to try and get everything as close as we possibly can. And yeah, give us, just so we're not going to Cradle Mountain every day, we can get around a little bit. And yeah, definitely work out Aurora season, which is going to be freezing. It's going to be freezing Aurora season in Tassie. That's cool. I like that. That's nice. Like it's almost silver. Like the water looks silver to match the sky. That is cool. Yeah, another interesting sky. Yeah, that's nice as well. Oops, look, all of them are good. All of these images are good. See, there's another drone shot. That's nice for a drone shot. I do like that. That is cool. I'm just going to skip through them a little bit quicker because they are all very good. I'm sure I've seen that image before. I'm sure I've seen that. We could get some wombats. We could line up some wombats and get them to drink out of a pond. Some wombats and some roos. Yeah, that's I do like that. That's nice. That is cool. See, I love these. I love that dark, moody. Yeah, that's good as well. That's cool. Blue skies. There we go. A lot of people don't like. A lot of landscape photographers will tell you not to shoot on a blue sky, and I'm thinking of throwing one in there. I don't mind blue skies. I don't mind blue skies. I like blue. Okay, there's another vertical pano. I like that. That's cool. That's almost. Well, I could almost get that at Dundarren. Dundarren's on the plan as well. I'm going to go for a very minimalistic type one, just with the ripples in the sand at Dundarren Beach, with absolutely nothing, just a dead straight horizon, ripples in the sand, and hopefully a sky like this. That's another one that I've got planned. It's got to wait for the right conditions for Dundarren. It's got to be a low tide. It's got to be no wind. And that's, like a lot of these photos, a lot of it has to do with conditions. That's, that's a bee. Okay, that's interesting. I've been thrown off with this nature. That opens up some doors, to tell the truth. Now that I've seen these in here, this does open up some doors. Yeah, here I am thinking that we just need to get epic landscape images, but yeah, interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's nice. See, that is really nice. Again, I'd have that in my top 50. I really like that. The color, again, that's another shot I would love to have. Like, I would love to have that in my portfolio. Yeah, see, I love that. I would definitely have that in my top 100. That's very interesting. I don't want to say it. It looks fake. It's obviously not, but it looks too perfect. I've never captured a lightning reflection quite that perfectly. And the fact that lightning doesn't mimic this lightning, and that's interesting. That's yeah. I'm not saying it's fake. I'm just saying I've never seen lightning like that. That is a cool shot. That is a cool shot. Yeah, wow. See, something like that we could get at Dundarren as well. Again, I don't want to be out in Dundarren. See, this, to get these sorts of shots, you do have to be a bit silly and go and stand out in the middle of a storm in a lake. I'm guessing that's a very shallow lake. Yeah, which I could get that at Dundarren with the right tide. That's a possibility, that image. But I wouldn't do it. I don't think I'm game enough to stand out in water that shallow trying to capture lightning. That's cool. That's nice. Yeah, waterfall. I'm surprised our first waterfall's down at number 82. That's interesting. I think people are just sick of waterfalls, and that's kind of. I don't want a generic shot, and there's a few generic ones in here, to tell the truth. There's a few, like especially the mountain range ones. Yeah, I thought we would have had a few more waterfalls earlier, because I love a good waterfall. Not that we're going to get one here in Hervey Bay. That's very similar to last year's winner, but it had a big bolt of lightning coming down. Yeah, see, that's nice as well. I like that. That's cool. Yeah, see, there's another blue sky day. It's good to see. It's good to see that some of these blue sky days are creeping in here. Yeah, that's nice. Ice house. That is nice. Wow, that's not what I expected. That is not what I expected. That's a cool image though. Again, that's another photo that I wish I had. Like, I'd be happy to have any of these photos, to tell the truth. Okay, that's very similar to one last year. Very, very similar to one last year. Again, really nice. That is really nice. Okay, that one's good. That one's good. So what's the feedback so far? What are people thinking? I know they're all very good images. Do we have a chance? Are we able to get anything? A lone tree. See, that's a lone tree with a nice spin on it. That's kind of, yeah, if we're going to do a lone tree, it's got to be something pretty special. That's not just a lone tree. That is out there. That's cool. I like that one as a vertical. That is very nice. Okay, another one very similar to some of the previous ones. Wow, I wonder if that's the same. Oh, that's another Aussie. I wonder if he was the one that got the skull. I have to go and double check. I was too busy looking at that skull to realise. And it's another one of those 360 images. So that's interesting. So yeah, a square pano. It's yeah, there is a way of doing it. I'm like I said, I'm not a fan of that style, but there's been two in here that have been done really well. And you know, just because I don't like something, if it's done well, it's done well. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Again, very, you know, not a lot of big epic skies this year. A lot of very clear, what I would call boring skies, which is good. See, that's really nice. That I do like that. I do like that. Now, I've got a beer here. I'm just gonna. Okay, that's cool. That is nice. New Zealand. See, we're not going to get the sea stacks, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking with the Milky Way. I think the lone tree with the mud is just, it's garbage. It's nice, it's a nice image, but yeah, the lone tree with just the mud, no. That is nice. That, yeah, see, again, autumn colour. I don't think if there's anyone that knows where we can get some autumn colour in Hervey Bay come next autumn, Akara Gardens is a possibility, but Akara Gardens it's not that nice. It's not that nice. Okay, yeah, there's that Aussie again. I reckon that's that same pano that was in the 360. That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That is good. Again, mountain ranges, lots and lots of mountain ranges. Lots of people with lights. Again, I think I'm going to ditch the Astro idea, and there's the number 100. Like seriously, that's number 100. I don't even have an image half that good, to tell the truth, and that's number 100. So there we go. We've looked at the top 100. So what's everyone's thoughts? What do we think of the top 100 of this year's Pano Awards? Are there many surprises in there that you weren't expecting? There was a lot of surprises in there for me. There was a lot of surprises. Personally, I would have had that in my top 50. I reckon that is really nice. There was a couple in there that I would have had in my top 50. That I probably would have had in my top 50. I reckon that's cool. Yeah, look, it's hard. There's so many good ones. Last year's winner, let's go back to last year. There's last year's winning image. That is pretty epic. That is pretty epic. I do have a lightning bolt very similar to that with some yachts in it, but yeah, I didn't see many man-made structures in this, although there was a van in one of the images. So yeah, they're last year's images, and again, a lot of it was mountain ranges, epic skies, epic. There's that drone shot I was talking about. This drone shot here, wow, I love that. I'm not a fan of drone shots, but that's one that's done really well. That is a good drone shot. I really like that. I reckon that is pretty special, that one. Okay, so actually, you know, see, I reckon there was a very similar image to that in this year's. That came in second. There was one that was very similar to this year's that didn't come in second place. I was actually surprised this came in second. Again, a blue sky day. It's good to see. It's good to see that they are acknowledging that blue sky days aren't boring. This was my favourite. I love this. This is a really nice image. It's all subjective though, isn't it? It is, absolutely it is. Like I said, like, you know, images that I would like, other people would go, oh yuck, I don't like that. It is. So, but yeah, as far as, you know, like every image in here is really good. There's a couple in there that you know, that I would question, but overall, yeah, they're all good. They are all good. That I really like. That I remember seeing that one last year. That I love. Yeah, a lot of really nice images. So that's about it. I'm not going to go on for too long. This was more of a to see what sort of yeah, look, we don't have a chance. Let me quickly open up Lightroom. I want to see how Lightroom runs and see if our internet drops out. I just want to see how everything runs when I open Lightroom. I might even run an AI something and see if we lose our stream. I'm thinking I think I'm going to ditch the laptop. I think I'm going to go PC next, just for the streaming side of things. I love the portability of the laptop. I love that I can take it with me when I go away. But now that I want to do a lot more streaming, and especially the video editing. Video editing now, I think I have to get a PC next, just for the power of a PC. To be able to do 4K video, stream and run all of this at the same time, I'd have to get a laptop worth a fortune, where a PC I can get one a little bit cheaper. So what I've done in Lightroom, I've set up my Pano Awards. Let me just quickly put my little highlight cursor on so you can see what I'm pointing at, rather than me just pointing at my screen. And let's just keep an eye on the stream and see how it goes. So I've started a folder of the Pano Awards. We've got 100 in there at the moment, but what I've done, I've gone through and I've just picked out my favorite ones from each session. I've done a very basic, I don't think I've even edited them to tell the truth. That's just my starting point. And what we'll do eventually, when I get another 5, I think so far since the last one, I've only picked out the images that I think are okay. Okay, and again, I haven't edited them. They've still got green tints to them, and yeah, they're unedited. So there's some new ones that we haven't gone through, because this was in a live stream. This one was from a live stream as well, and that's all I got. I got 17 images from that live stream. Again, the sky did nothing for me. I didn't. These ones I have gone through, and I've just culled it down to my favorites. I've stitched a couple together. So far, I still reckon this is probably my best image so far. Yeah, that's probably my, and again, I haven't edited it yet, so I'll do another stream and we'll edit them. We'll actually edit them while we, yeah, and I will spend a bit of time on them and really clean them up. I'll go over things that I'm going to look for. No, there wasn't a lot of seascapes in there this year. There wasn't a lot of seascapes, so that's interesting. We could use that to our advantage. We could use seascapes. The fact that there's not a lot in there doesn't mean there was not a lot submitted. So it's interesting to think that, you know, if they would have received thousands, of entries. Were there just not a lot of seascapes submitted, or did the seascapes just not crack the top 100? So that'd be like, I'd like to see the images that didn't make it, just to sort of, you know, give me a better gauge of what's not going to make it. Okay. Yeah, were there seascapes that didn't make it, or are people just not doing seascapes? So anyway, look, as far as I'm concerned, I'm just gonna do what I do, and I'll pick out my favorites at the end of the day, and we'll go with it. It's for you guys. It's for you guys to go through them. So yeah, so far I've only done 2 sessions. This was one of the sessions, I think. I've only done another 2 sessions since our last review, and that was the storms and the tree that I did with Pete. September. No, that was the first one I did with Pete. I think we did go through that one. I'll have to double check which ones we went through. So I know we definitely haven't gone through these ones. That was in a live stream. Oh, that was the other one we haven't gone through. So we haven't done October yet. So these Storm ones, again, these are all the raw files. There's one or two, like this was the night, it was epic. This was the night. These are all just straight out raw files. I just don't think they're gonna, well, these were raw files. What's that doing? That's just somehow edited itself. It's probably got some metadata in there somewhere. Yeah, look, if they happen to be our best images, we will submit them. I just don't think, yeah, I don't know. We've got starbursts, we've got like, they're epic images, but are they award winning? I don't know. I don't know. But let me just quickly show you what I got at Bundy. Now that there's animals in there, I got a couple of really cool shots with this water dragon. Now, will I be able to turn it into a pano? My favourite ones are down here. I only took a couple of photos of it. As you can see, how many have I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 photos I took of this one lizard. I had to though. I love water dragons. Let's give it a quick crop. What would it look like as a pano? Once I saw the green weed in the water, the head sticking above the reflections, I fired away. Yeah, is it award winning? I don't think it is. I love it. I love that photo. Is it award winning? I don't know. Yeah, look, I've got some nice photos at Bundy, but yeah, that's off topic. And bee eaters. Now let me have a quick look. Again, now that we've got some nature involved, I'll show you my favourite image. Like surely that's got to be a chance. Surely that's got to be a chance. Nah, I can't turn it into a pano. I can't. I can't turn it into a pano, so that's no good. Yeah, so look, to be honest, I haven't even got out and given it a fair crack yet. We need to get back out there very soon. Yeah, I wanted to get out when all the storms were going. I was too busy just trying to capture the lightning, and I'm playing it safe. I think if I got out to my trees in the lightning, they're just too far away. I don't think I'm that keen that I want to go out in a lightning storm that far out. And we had high tides when all the lightning was happening. So these are all things that, you know, like to get an award-winning image, you got to have the wind and the tide, and everything has to be perfect. Like, yes, we had all those epic storms, but I couldn't get to the locations I wanted to be at. I wanted to be out on the mud flats, like lightning over this tree even. And it wasn't going to happen. We couldn't get out there. It was high tide. So yeah, it's hard. It's you got to be right place at the right time. All right, well, I might wind it up there. So yeah, we've gone through the images. That was just something I wanted to tick off the list. I wanted to go through those awards. I wanted to do it live as well, so then you see my live reaction. That skull photo, that's still, yeah, to me that's one of the best images I think I've ever seen. That is just straight out one of the best photos I think I've ever seen. I love that. Yeah, look, you know, we've got our work cut out for us. Yeah, we've got lots of photos. I still think that's probably my best chance so far. I think that's, you know, that's my favourite photo anyway. All right, I will wind it up there. Hopefully I'll be out doing some more live streams in the field soon. I've had a lot on lately, which has been good. I've been quite busy. Just spent a couple of days up in Bundy. I've got some really nice, I found a new location up there. I went and had a look at if Leslie's still in, Leslie and Kerry are here. I went and had a look at the lighthouse at Burnet Heads. It's garbage. Let me quickly show you. I'm sorry if I'm boring other people. I'm talking to Leslie and Kerry, because we were planning to get this lighthouse. Where's my Bundy photos? There. The lighthouse. Let me give you a quick sneak peek at... I did give some of these a 5-star too. Look at this. I'll just give you a quick look at that one. Look at that. Had some really nice, like, these rocks. There was these really nice orange rocks, the cloudy skies. So that place I found quite nice. Where is... Oh, it was after that. The lighthouse is towards... So here's the lighthouse. That was the first shot that I got, but there's a big fence all the way around it, a barbed wire fence. And that has got to be the ugliest looking lighthouse I've ever seen in my life. Sorry, Burnett heads, but that is a shit lighthouse. Yeah, nah, I didn't like it. I tried getting down as low as I possibly could to hide this fence. From the other side, there was nothing there. G'day, Matt. How are you? You need to start travelling. Yes, I do. I need to go with Matt overseas. Matt goes to some of these epic locations. I do, Matt. Yeah, we should do a proper overseas trip one of these days. A lot of those shots were from the places that you go. But, you know, for this challenge, it's got to be in Hervey Bay. So, yeah, isn't that just the shittest looking lighthouse you've ever seen? Oh, I was so disappointed when I got there. The girls warned me, the girls at Bundaberg. They said, yeah, it's not really nice. And, yeah, no, it's... I don't like to swear on stream, but that is shit. That's not even a lighthouse. So, sorry, girls, but we won't be going back to that thing. I found some other rocks that were just horrible. It was one of those... I couldn't be bothered getting the tripod out. I was just scouting. So these were all just taken handheld. I did find this little beach that I liked. This beach was quite nice. Had lots of little mangroves. So that was not a bad little beach. I got a few shots there that were okay. But oh yeah, look, the Bundy Gardens they're pretty magic. They are. Anyway, I'm not going to bore you with... I just wanted to let Leslie and Kerry in on that that lighthouse. God, that was disappointing. I tried to hide the fence behind bushes and everything, and you can't. It's literally out in the open. So it was very, very hard to try and hide it. The Botanic Gardens, though, are incredible. We had some nice colour going on too. So in the background there was some nice, almost autumn colours. But yeah, that water dragon, I was quite happy with that. I took a few shots. Diane took photos of me taking photos of the water dragon. I spent a good half an hour with my mate. We had a chat. He told me that wasn't his good side. I had to go around the other side, but yeah, he didn't want to move for me unless I fed him. So yeah, I'm talking crap now. Time to go. Matt, as you said, maybe Fraser Island. I think Fraser Island could be the answer. Round Island as well. I think, yeah, I've got some plans with Round Island. I'm going to have to stay there the night because I want to be there. I think with Astro is a good chance with Round Island. And sunset from Round Island looking over Hervey Bay with the marina in the background. Again, with the Pano Awards, I didn't notice a lot of man-made structures. There was no piers, surprisingly. So, yeah, not another pier shot in the Pano Awards. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of man-made structures. There was a van in one of the shots, but that was an awesome shot. That had the aurora around reflections in the lake. That was pretty cool. Yeah. All right, I'll wind it up. I said I was going to wind it up before. I will wind it up now. I'm getting a bit peckish, so I might go and have some food. Kerry, I will see you tomorrow. I'm excited to come and set up. Kerry's just bought herself a new monitor, so we're gonna calibrate it for her and have a bit of a play with Lightroom. What else did I have on this week? Matt, what's the wind doing? I've got a new board that I'm hanging to use. It was blowing a gale up at Bundaberg as well. I was sitting there taking photos of these things and watching the wind blow the trees. So missed out on a good day there. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So thank you to everyone who jumped in and watched. Again, probably not the most exciting stream. I just wanted to get that one out of the way. I always wanted to do that reveal, so it's done. We don't have to revisit it. We'll actually start looking at my photos and start taking some photos soon. So then we can submit them and get bitterly disappointed when we don't even make the top 100. All right, that's it. I'm going to wind it up. So yeah, thank you again to everyone who popped in. Stay tuned. I'll be out in the field soon. I know the weather's looking good this week. We got low tide starting to come in later in the week, so I'm going to get back out, start attempting some of these award-winning images. Now that I've seen blue skies in some of those images, that has given me a little spark that, you know, yes, blue skies, the judges aren't as critical as landscape photographers are with blue skies. So that's a good to know. That just opens up a few more doors. So thank you again. Good night, and I will see you all again very soon, hopefully. All right, see ya.